were sophomores, and now to finish, you know, it's like a storybook that you would love to just, but you know, you just got to look at the memories and hindsight. But no, I'm so proud of them. This is their state championship, and everybody's making a deal out of it being mine. It ain't. I mean, I've got to ride the freaking bus and come along with them, and they made buckets and they worked their tails off, and they got in tight games and they held together. I mean, that was a very brutal game official-wise that I thought we did a great job maintaining our class and just sitting in there and being like, hey, it's not about how it looks. We just got to finish that thing. And I mean, I give them a lot of credit for that.
Coach, what's the challenge of trying to contain a talented guard like Grayson Rigdon, and what lent itself to your guys' success on that end of the floor tonight?
Well, Caden Tatum. Caden, I don't think he gets much respect because a lot of people are like, man, that little guy out there. He's been the defensive MVP in our district for 3 years in a row, and he always accepts a challenge. And I mean, he wanted the kid the whole time. And I mean, quite frankly, I mean, I know y'all like to write about stuff like that, and he's an athlete, and he can shoot basketball. But I mean, I thought we did a great job. He had 9 points at halftime, is what it said on the stat sheet. And I mean, honestly, I thought Caden did a good job. I just think there's some things out there in the game that should have been cleaned up, and they weren't, and it benefited him. It didn't benefit us.
So, Coach, just going back to, I guess, the only part of the game that was really contested, which was the very first part of that game, it seemed like there was a lid on the rim for you guys at the beginning. What kind of took that lid off? I know you came out in the press, but what kind of got that offense going to where you had more points in the paint than they even had on the board?
Well, it was a physical game, but, I mean, we told them before the game, like, if you fall in love with the three, we knew they would give us threes. They're going to let us shoot threes. All the film we watched, they're letting everybody shoot. But if you fall in love with that, you're not winning. You're going to win it on the free throw line, you're going to win it making layups. And, I mean, whether or not they believe it or not, I think we achieved it. So, yeah, again, I mean, it's tough for kids to go out and play. You try to get them in places. You know, we played in American Airlines Center, not this year, but the 2 years prior with them, just for the opportunity they could play in space so they could come down here and play. And, you know, we went to La Tech camp, played in their facility, but it's still the pressure on you down here as an athlete, and I never made it as an athlete, but I can only imagine because with social media out there and the buzz, I always tell our kids, hey, people are putting pressure on you that have never done it. Don't let it be pressure. This is ours. It has nothing to do with anybody else. So, like, if somebody's running their mouth about it, you just go play your game. And I thought we did. And, you know, Jacory has battled on the boards all year. I mean, I think this group's a very tough group of kids. Jordan had some great boards, Luke, and, you know, our guards boarded up. And I always think that's real important. All the good teams we've had, our bigs would always block out and create, you know, space for us to get in there. But usually the games like this, it came down, we had guards going in there and fetching up balls. So I thought we did a good job across the board.
This question is for Jacory Bradley. Jacory, I got to say, your first half was a pretty impressive start. You had a great touch on the ball, nice finishing ability. Win this state, how is this a testament to your hard work in the offseason during the season until now?
Man, you know, just putting hard work in 24/7, you know, just going to the gym with my dad late at night, you know, just working out, trying to get better and help my team out.
So who is one of the players that you've looked up to growing up and modeled your game after?
Probably my dad, really, you know. He made it down here, you know, but didn't finish the job, but we did.
Yeah, you know, I want to add something that you talk about. Oh, I didn't see him. Talk about pressure. You know, Jamie, his father, made 171 threes for us this season. I got to tape him, and we went to the state finals. And, you know, there's always pressure on a coach's kid. Like, I'm telling you, coach's kids carry pressure. But I thought Jacory did a great job of handling. And in our town, Jamie Bradley's a legend. He's got his jersey up on the wall. So when you're playing under that, I thought Jacory did a great job all year dealing with that. So he's the legend now.
Coach Carr, this question is for you. You're a longtime TABC member, okay? What would you say to young coaches that watch your teams, watch you, watch other coaches, try to get to this point? What do they need to do as a coach and a leader to try to get here? And you're retiring, won it all. I mean, this is a testament to you and your diligence and your pride for Tatum. You've invested in Texas high school basketball through TABC, everything down the road. I saw the emotion on your face with your son after the game, with your wife. This is community-based athletics right here, right now, shown on big stage. What would you say to young coaches that want to be in this same situation, sitting in this same room?
Well, I mean, Texas athletics is amazing, and I know it's evolving. My brother grew up in Texas, lives in Florida now. We compare teams back and forth. He's bought into theirs, but man, I don't know. TABC was a life changer for me as a coach, honestly. That's where you network. You work camp. There were older coaches in camp that would take time. You could ask them questions. It's like going to a personal clinic, and there's no doubt that I think that's a brotherhood. But as from the coaching side of it, I just thought, number one, you got to coach because you love coaching and you love kids. Like, this cannot be the front and center. I don't think. If we would have lost today, my life would go on and I would be fine. I'm a believer. The Lord's the most important thing in my life. And so, this is just extra stuff. But for kids, love them, believe in them, carry them. Man, we've had parents carry these guys all over the place. TABC camp. Did we win TABC camp? When I first went to TABC camp, Boz, you know who was down there? The Brocks, the Ponders, all those people I was watching at state. And that's what really, I was like, I got to get my kids down there. And so we've always got kids down there. And I think for small school, definitely TBC's, like, if you're at a small school and you ain't dragging them there, you're missing out. That's probably the best camp in the nation as far as giving your kids some work and some games. So it made a big difference for us.
Got time for two questions. We'll hear and then far side.
Thank you. Coach, I was just, any of you guys that want to add to it, I was blown away this season by y'all's effort. I think it was on full display today. And y'all just, the hustle, the drive, all that good stuff. But, kind of a two-part question. Is there a point, you talk about kind of what people don't see beyond the games, behind closed doors. Is there a story or just a practice that stood out this season that really highlights how hard y'all work and how it translates to the court? And then just kind of on top of that, you got some football guys, some baseball guys up here. Is it even more impressive that what they've poured into basketball and to reach the pinnacle of being multi-sport guys, is that
all these guys played football this year. So they're all on the football field. And by the way, shout out to our AD. Unbelievable to have an AD that supports you and what he did for us coming down here. Because it's hard to come down here logistics-wise. And, man, he made it unbelievable for us. It was a huge blessing for us. But on top of that, when you got kids at small school, they should play everything. I want them to play everything. As hard as it is to live with me, if you've been with me through the season, you need to go to the track, play baseball, or whatever. I think it benefits them. I've always thought the toughness of other things, we could bring to the floor. And certainly, I think this, again, I'll say it again, I think this is a tough group of kids. But we demand toughness out. And I'll tell you, if there was one time in the season I thought, hey, there was probably several, but when we played Liberty Island, and I hate to play somebody and not lay eyes on them, and I had all this film, and I was talking to people on the phone, they came in, I think, 34-0 and stuff, and the way these guys came out, after that game, I went home and told my wife, I said, we got a shot at winning it all, because you don't just show up after all the hype you heard. And they were a good team, don't get me wrong, not taking anything, but the way we came out and played extremely competitive and hard, and I just think that's part of our culture in Tatum. We've had that for 21 years. And Certainly, we always try to pick out a guy who plays the three for us, that exhibits toughness. Sometimes they're not a basketball type kid, but they bring something to the team that's like, it catches on, it's contagious. And like, I think Caden is very contagious. And I think, through the season, it was cool to watch our guys grow up. We knew Jordan could have the kind of season he had, and he flourished and had it. And Luke, and I mean, even Coop. Coop moved in here from Ohio. But anyway, he's never played football. And this year his coach, think about going out there and playing football, and he did. And I mean, like I want kids to go out there and go for it. I mean, you want to do something like, one thing I found out, 57 years old, this thing goes about fast. So you might as well do whatever you can do. So I'm just so proud of him.
Final question in the back.
This one's for the players and the coaches. Coach Brady kind of hit on it. At what point in this season did you guys get that feeling like we're going to win it all?
We knew we had a shot coming into this season, but I think to start the playoffs after that Liberty Alu game, it really gave us a boost of confidence, and then we came out every game and just started off hot. So I think after Liberty Alu, we had it done.
Luke, this is your chance.